So this video is probably going to be a bit more serious than my usual stuff, so apologies for that.
Apology not accepted.
And this video is probably going to ruffle a few feathers, but I think that it needs to be said. And not to criticize, but to potentially help people that are in a bad financial situation, and to help younger people that might be watching these videos to avoid some of the mistakes that I think are potentially holding people back from being financially independent. And this might be some brutal advice for some of you, but please take it with a grain of salt, because I'm not your financial consultant, I'm not your dad, I'm not your priest, I'm not your therapist. I'm just a dork with a YouTube channel that has some opinions on this matter, and they are just that, my opinions. And I would love to know if you agree or disagree with some of these things in the comments.
Stop wasting all of our time.
So without wasting any more of your time, let's just get to the most brutal opinion that I have. And here it is. If you are struggling financially, it's probably your own fault and nobody is going to help save you. And if you don't change your behaviors, then no amount of math or income will ever help you. I see so many people blaming the government and inflation and pandemics and the stock market and the economy in general for all their financial woes. Meanwhile, they're buying cars that they can't afford with super high interest rates, and homes that they can't afford with loans that are probably going to last their entire lifetime. If you are going to a restaurant in a car that the bank owns and putting it on a credit card, then maybe your financial problems are your own fault.
How dare you?
Okay, let me back it down a little bit and add a disclaimer before the trolls in the comments do. Of course, there could be some situations that are outside of your control that have negatively affected your financial situation. And of course, there are tons of exceptions to my little rant here, and my sample size is pretty small, but the people that I see in my life that are complaining about the economy also, in my opinion, make tons of mistakes that are completely avoidable if you just use a little bit of common sense and some self-control. So instead of just bitching about these mistakes that I think people are making, let's just make a list of things that I believe are keeping people poor and what you can do to avoid them. So number one, and this is gonna piss a few of you off. Number one for me is college. Our generation was told that in order to get ahead in life, you had to get a degree. So most of my family and friends listened, and we all ended up leaving college up to our eyeballs in college loan debt, which meant that no matter what type of job we got, it was really hard to dig yourself out of the hole to get ahead when we were so far behind at the beginning. I left college with a degree that I never used and $50,000 in student loan debt. It's really tough to start your life when you're already in debt like that. So my stance on college is this. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something that requires a degree, then great. College is potentially the right move for you. But if you're not sure exactly what you want to do and you think that just having a piece of paper that you paid for with your name on it is going to help you succeed, I think the data is crystal clear on this. There's ROI calculators online that you can use to look up your degree and figure out how much it costs and what the ROI typically is on that. So my advice is do the math and don't be pressured into college unless you're 100% sure about your path and the finances that are involved in that path. And avoid it if it doesn't make sense.
College sucks, it's stupid.
Number two, credit cards. How easy is it to buy something even though you can't afford it and you don't have the money to buy it? That'll just be a problem for future Adam. I'll put it on a credit card and worry about it later. Years of doing this is going to make it really hard for you to get ahead financially. And let me be a little bit more fair here. I think that oftentimes it's not just an overspending problem. You're not just buying crap on credit cards for fun. Oftentimes it's emergencies like your furnace breaks or your roof starts to leak or your vehicle breaks down and you don't have the money to fix that problem that absolutely does need fixed right now. So you put it on a credit card. In my opinion and my advice, the best way to avoid this from happening is to have an emergency fund. Have some money in your savings or in a checking account that is literally there for that purpose, for emergencies. Look, life happens. And if you're young and watching this, trust me, things will break. Life is going to throw some shit at you. And if you don't have an emergency fund set aside to absorb it, you are going to make it very difficult for yourself to be financially stable. Now that kind of leads me directly into number three, budgeting. Most people don't create a budget and don't control their own money. And if you can't tell me off the top of your head right now how much money you have coming in next month and what your expenses are next month, then you might be really screwing yourself financially. A budget is the simplest path to financial freedom, and I'm amazed how many people just don't do it.
Well, that seems hard.
Look, let's simplify it first and then get a little bit more granular. Here's budgeting 101 for you youngsters and maybe some of you old people. And I'm gonna be a little bit patronizing here, but please please keep in mind that this might be the most important part of this entire video. So take out a piece of paper or open up a spreadsheet on your computer, and at the top of it, put the dollar amount, the amount of money that is going to be coming in next month. Then under that, list all of your bills, everything that you spend money on in a month. So your utilities like electricity and gas, your rent, even things like DoorDash and groceries and Netflix and gas, whatever money is leaving your wallet. And this will not work if you're not being honest with yourself, so no cheating here. Now, do the math. Subtract all the bills from the money that's coming in. Your goal each month is to spend less than you make. What a crazy concept that is.
You're right, very patronizing.
And I know that sounds really patronizing, but it's crazy how many people don't do that. Now, that is the first step towards financial freedom, understanding how much is coming in and how much is going out. And once you have a grasp on this, you can start moving the needle. You can do multiple things successfully now. You can work on increasing the amount of money that's coming in every month, because the more money you make, the more you have to pay your bills. So working your way up the corporate ladder or working on side jobs or starting a side hustle can really help you on your path, but be very careful here, because this is where everybody completely messes up. They start making more money and they start buying bigger and better things, like a bigger and better car and a bigger and better house, and they go on more extravagant vacations. They never allow themselves to get ahead. Avoid this mistake at all costs. Now, at the same time you're working to increase the amount you're making, try to decrease the amount you're spending. Pay down your damn debts. Pay them off completely. Imagine what would happen if you had so little debt or so few bills and such a decent income that a big part of your paycheck every month was extra money. That is the ultimate goal. Once you figure out a way to live below your means, you now will have some extra income, which will allow you to do the next thing on my list, which is number 4. Investing. Why are you not investing? Why are you not allowing some of your money to make you money? This is what every financially independent person does, and it's easier to do when you actually have some extra money every month. So if you're still screwing up 1 through 3 in my list, then this is going to be a bit harder for you. Work through my last step in order to have extra money every single month, and then put a portion of that extra money into a simple ETF or index fund that automatically diversifies your portfolio for you. Now, this isn't going to be glamorous. You're not going to be the next Dogecoin millionaire, but with time and consistency, your money will grow every single year, and all you have to do is log in and see how much it's made while you literally do nothing.
Tell me how to do it.
Now, I am not a financial advisor, so I cannot tell you what to invest in, but I can just tell you what I do. I have a Vanguard account that is connected to my bank account, and every Friday, a bit of money goes from my account into my Vanguard account automatically, and every Friday, a trade is made to buy shares of VOO with that money, which tracks the entire S&P 500. And this is all done automatically, so I don't even have to think about it. This, in my opinion, is the easiest way. If you had to log in every month and figure out how much money you were going to move into your account and then what shares you're going to buy with it, the whole process seems a bit more complicated. So choose a platform that allows you for automatic transfers of money and automatic investments so that you can just set it and forget it. And on a side note, if you work for a company that offers a 401k, especially one that will match your investment, that's another super simple way to just set it and forget it. So take advantage of that for sure. Now, this next thing isn't important enough to get its own actual number, but I wanted to mention it because I think it's really important, especially today with social media. Everyone online flexes the things that they have, but they never tell you how much debt they went into to get any of those things. You only see the nice car and the nice house on Instagram, but behind the scenes, that family is probably living paycheck to paycheck and are leveraged up to their eyeballs. Don't be fooled by what you see online and try not to keep up with the Joneses, because in many cases, the Joneses' lives are one emergency away from bankruptcy and divorce.
It's pretty common these days.
So let's sum all this up into an easy to understand thesis. Your financial situation is your own fault, and your behaviors and the changes that you make is going to determine what your path is going to look like in the future. Your life right now is a result of what you did a year ago. Your life a year from now is going to be a result out of what you do right now. So act accordingly. Avoid overspending and getting yourself into debt. Understand and master your budget. Try to decrease your cost of living even when you increase your income. Try to create a margin that allows for emergencies, a fun lifestyle, and a little chunk left over to invest on autopilot. I guess to put it simply, just try to spend less on your bills and your lifestyle and invest the rest. And if you like this non-financial advice, then please do all the things you're supposed to do to help a channel grow. And I'll see you in the next one.
I won't be coming back.